morning and welcome to today's episode of the Sports Break here on RVNTV.tv. It's Thursday, so we're talking NBA news. I'm your host, Renee Washington, and to talk NBA news with me is co-host Jonathan Stroud. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yes, it's Thursday, so it's not too bad. We're on the later end of the week.
Almost at Friday. Yeah.
Almost. So there has been a lot of things going on, and one being Carmelo Anthony. Now, Melo has been someone that Lala Anthony actually spoke up saying a couple weeks ago they thought by now his trade deal or not trade deal would have been finalized. And here we are still trying to figure out what's going on with Melo. And as of late, the discussion has been that he is leaning towards one team and one team only, and that's the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, he has the no trade clause, and he's only willing to waive it for Houston. And they've been playing this game, it seems like, all summer as far as is he going to go to Houston? Is he not going to go to Houston? I mean, the Rockets have made a commitment. They're going to go mellow and risk it all, as my man Fat Joe would say. So I think that, you know, got to be careful what you wish for in this situation. And the big sticking point from what it sounds like is Ryan Anderson. I mean, raise your hand if you want to sign up for Ryan Anderson at $20 million a year for the next 3 years, because that's what they're asking the Knicks to take on.
Exactly.
And, you know, if I'm the Knicks, I'm not making that move. As incompetent as that organization is, I mean, they're smart enough to know that that's not really enough for Carmelo at this point in his career. So his representatives are hopeful a deal's going to be made by Monday, which, you know, ironically is the day of media day for New York and the day they open up. So they don't want to, I guess, say, listen, you know, Carmelo's not here anymore. But hey, it's going to be interesting. And, I mean, you're talking about putting Melo on a team with Chris Paul, James Harden.
Exactly.
Listen, I don't know. I mean, unless they're going to change up their game, Melo's, as you know, he's a guy that kind of holds the ball. Again, you get him, it's like 10 to 15 seconds. So I'm not even sure that whole mixture is going to work, but it's nice on paper.
Yeah, there are a lot of factors that go into this. One is the fact that they can't just move Carmelo for nothing.
Right.
So they do have to have some type of deal going on with Ryan Anderson. They do have to free up some space. So that's an issue. Then the fact that if the trade does work out, like you mentioned, and Carmelo Anthony does go to the Houston Rockets, you now have three guys that need the ball in their hands.
Right.
James Harden, Chris Paul, and Carmelo Anthony, which are all all-star players. But as we know, that doesn't automatically mean championships. And I think the Houston Rockets, as we talked about last show, are a team that's trying to be able to knock off the Golden State Warriors. So they're thinking that this is the answer. Yeah,
everybody's, trying to make that concerted effort to try to knock off the big bad wolf and the Warriors. I mean, but like you mentioned, they're all ball-dominant guys. And Chris Paul, Harden, and Carmelo, the beauty of the Warriors and what makes them really work is that ball movement is it's like poetry in motion, the way it swings from one side to the other. They all have great shooters lined up. So that's a different animal in itself. So the Rockets, they want to make this move. They're trying to go all in, have 3 all-stars. So more power to them. But, I don't really see it really meshing the way they think it's going to work out. So
yeah, I agree. I think it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, Melo's time in New York though, the clock has expired on that. So I think they really do need to make a move.
Yeah.
They're kind of hamstrung because of of the no trade clause. So
exactly,
they kind of put in a box there with Melo.
And the move has always been in discussion. It's just a matter of where and when, and we've kind of been seeing this drag along for years now, where we've been talking about Carmelo going to different teams. And so I agree. I think it's probably time to go on and make that move. Yeah. For everyone. Just cut all ties.
Be together one of his Banana Boat brothers and Chris Paul.
Yes, exactly. So I do have to talk about another team that's trying to rebuild, and that's the Philadelphia 76ers. And they have a very young team. They have Ben Simmons coming back from injury. They have Markelle Fultz they just drafted, Joel Embiid. Unfortunately, one of those names is not cleared to play. Joel Embiid is, as of yesterday, he is not cleared to play 5-on-5 live full court play yet.
Right.
His meniscus injury that we heard was just a minor injury seems to still be bothering him. What are your thoughts on that?
They're making it harder and harder to trust this process. I mean, I'm excited as I can be for this season, but it's like when you hear that news come out yesterday, man, it's like you hear the Price is Right horns come out. You know the horn I'm talking about. But so he's not cleared to play 5-on-5. He had his meniscus surgery in March. According to him, it was a minor surgery. But now we're here in September. Training camp starts on Tuesday, and he's still not cleared to play 5-on-5. My thinking is it's one of 3 things. One is, he has the contract coming up where he's due to get extended October 16th, and I guess they're trying to end negotiations back and forth on that one, and so they don't want to risk him out there playing until that's actually finalized. 2, they're just putting him in bubble wrap and don't want him doing anything maybe until it's preseason games or regular season to get him out there because they see the potential and they don't they're being cautious. 3 being he really is still hurt and not being cleared to play yet, and that would be the most damning thing if that's the case. So if I'm the Sixers, man, if he can play, I'll troll him out there. If it's 3, I'll let him go out there and play, and then I'll trade his behind because I can't deal with this year after year. No. It pains me to say that because I love Joel. So
I think the hard part too is that fans, and as you mentioned, you can't trust this process. Well, fans are trying to kind of buy into what the Sixers are doing and trust that it's going to work out.
Right.
Yeah, every time we turn around, it seems like there's something else going on, specifically with Joel Embiid.
Right.
And even if they are just resting him, we saw it last season where they were resting him, and come March, he was still injured.
Right.
So how much of that, how much saving someone and trying to keep him from playing really can help if he's just injury prone?
Yeah. It's only so much of this dance you can do as far as, being cautious, letting the doctors, handle their business. Like, no, either he's good to go or he's not good to go. And these non-answers that you're getting from the organization as far as, we're just kind of being cautious and all that stuff. No, come on, man. Just say what it is. Can he play 5-on-5? What's the deal? And, let's move on. Because, this is just, the whole process does kind of really hinge on his shoulders.
Yeah.
So
kind of a big factor.
Yeah, so we really need to kind of figure out. They did a terrible job last year of kind of explaining things in the injury process. So this is not really the start you want as a Sixers fan.
Exactly. And they now have brought in like a doctor for their medical staff that's going to lead their training staff. They're trying on all aspects to fix what's going on. But at the end of the day, if Joel Embiid cannot play, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And for them to have such a young team that relies on him so heavily, and him being a player that we have seen over and over again, you can't rely on because he is injury prone. What's kind of the next move that the Sixers need?
Well, that's what I said. Like if I'm the Sixers, I put him out there, I let him play, and if you know that he's not really all together there, and he's not if there is going to be a situation where he's going to be like this year after year. I showcase him for the first month of the season. Hopefully he does what he did last year, and then I make a power move and probably possibly trade him. It might sound sacrilegious to do that, but you got to think of the best move for your organization going forward. You have these pieces, like you said, Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz, Sarge in there. So you want to really try to make the best of the situation and not have your hands tied where if he is going to be injury prone, now you really can't do anything with him as far as trade value. So. That's the move I would make if I were the Sixers.
Yeah, I think at this point he hasn't completed a full season. So that speaks volumes in itself. And the fact that you bring a player on that you expect to be someone that can change the program and they can't even play.
He's giving more ammo than LeVar Ball. And LeVar said, you ain't get your butt out there on the court. So, he's you need to get out there, JoJo, and then stop playing these games. I don't know what's going on, but you need to get out there.
Pretty bad. Enough talk, enough of the behind the scenes stuff. It's time to put your feet on the court, be out there, and put some action behind everything that's going on.
Hey, listen, the process is now. We waited long enough. I'm going in year 5 now.
Yeah, it's too much. Enough already. All right, but we will take a quick break. When we get back from this break, we're going to talk about some other things going on with Cupcake and Kyrie Irving and different things going on around the league. So don't go too far. We'll be right back after this break.
Love my style, I'm dancing tonight. My smile from pearly white side. Love myself, love my style. Pearly white, love your smiles. From teens to grown-ups braces, they can change your life. All ages and all faces. Your smile from pearly white. Love yourself, love your style. Pearly white, love your smile.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Assurance. It's a word, a touch, a look that sparks a feeling. Peace of mind that everything will be all right. These are the moments that inspire us to do more than you'd ever expect from a car insurance company at a price that's less than you'd expect. This is more than just insurance. This is Plymouth Rock Assurance. Visit us at PlymouthRock.com.
Everybody, Jonathan Stroud here, RBN Sports. This fall, we're going to be bringing to you Behind the Shield, talking about the NFL, going around the league, talking about player injuries, who to look out for, all the exciting news coming starting from week 1 in the NFL, little fantasy segment thrown in there, so tune in every Saturday for Behind the Shield.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey.
Welcome back to the Sports Break here on RVNTV.tv. I'm your host, Renee Washington, joined by Jonathan Stroud.
Jonathan, there you go.
All right, so we just talked about Joel Embiid and the Sixers. We talked about Carmelo Anthony's possible trade to the Rockets. Mm-hmm. We just talked about another player that was traded last year to the Golden State Warriors, helped them win the finals, won MVP, was doing great. You know, and despite all the haters, he actually won a ring. And then this summer...
Traded. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. Go ahead. Yeah, he wasn't traded. He made that
my bad. But he moved.
Yeah.
And despite all that, this summer he has been involved in a lot of craziness. And as of recent, this fake Twitter that he may or may not have. So Kevin Durant, if you guys did not see, on Twitter, was defending himself in third person against someone else's tweet as to why he left OKC and why it wasn't working out with OKC. What are your thoughts on this possible fake Twitter he has and everything going on with his tweets?
Listen, I already am not the biggest KD fan after he made that move last year, which was, I consider, the weakest move in professional sports. When you're joining a team that you were already up 3-1 against, I mean, we know the story and how it goes, but, I mean, now you're creating a fake Twitter account. Like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, I mean... I think he needs a woman in his life. A woman not named his mama, since she follows him everywhere. But it's just, I don't like, what, you won a championship, but yeah, you're in your basement on this Twitter account going after your haters. Like, come on, now you're a millionaire. If anybody, I'd be responding with a championship trophy emoji every time somebody just, came at me. But it's some sensitivity issues going on here, I guess, and he's just... Apparently, he told his manager or somebody, like, why did you make me do this move to Golden State? You know, I can't handle all the backlash. Like, dude, you knew what you were getting yourself into when you made the move. So, like, come on now, be a man, suck it up. You're about 28 years old. You're a grown man. So
yes, that's what I was gonna say. You're a man. Right. You made the decision. You're not a child. This is not a 10-year-old deciding to change AAU teams. Yeah. Like, you are a whole grown man. You knew what was gonna happen. You knew you lost 3-1. You were up 3-1 and then lost to OKC. Right. I'm sorry, to the Golden State Warriors. Right. And then turned around and left OKC to go join them. You knew what would happen by being a bandwagon player and joining that team. And then you turn around and you say you can't handle all this. And now he's talking about OKC and dissing the coaches, the players, and they're reading this like, regardless, if you look at the tweets here, I mean, regardless how much he tried to defend himself, he's talking about how he didn't like the organization, he didn't like playing for Billy Donovan. Imagine taking Russ off that team, see how bad they were. Right. That's awful. Those are your former teammates, and you're bad-talking them on Twitter publicly and then talking about, oh, I didn't mean to. It was a joke.
Yeah, he's kind of like backhanded trying to give Russ some compliment,
right?
Like, you know, because I guess they're still fresh. So he's trying to extend an olive branch to him in a backhanded way. Like if you took Russ off, we definitely would have been anything. So I mean, it's just soft, flaccid all the way around from this dude. And like I've had enough of him. I was done with him last year, and it's like, come on, man, like really, man up.
Right.
Like, that's what it really basically comes down to. And it speaks to this new culture we have of these NBA players who are just like very sensitive. And like I guess social media, like it just comes with territory now. You should be able to, you're a millionaire, man. Like come on now.
And you know what you sign up for when you
this comes with it. Yeah.
Part of making it to that level is that you are on a public stage, and every move that you make is under a microscope.
Right.
And another thing he did, I mean, he talked about the Under Armour brand, about not wearing Under Armour shoes or whatever, which was a roundabout way of what the Warriors front office was saying, dissing Steph Curry's new shoe line. And then Kevin Durant has a shoe line that he came out with. And if you look at the insoles of the shoes, there's a lot of writing on that. And he's talking, as the tweet goes, he's literally stepping on his haters. I mean, these are the insults of the shoes here. He's got the 2017 champs. He's got all these numbers, finals MVP.
Oh, my God.
He's a grown man. Back to what we said before. He is a grown man, and you go out of your way to make a whole shoe like this.
It's so sophomoric. Like, there's really no words for this. I mean, it's just like, I grew up in the era of, the rivalries where you got the Heat, the Knicks, the Bulls, and these were like grown men. I can't imagine these guys like, Oakley or Pippen or Jordan or somebody like clapping back on a Twitter page. Like, they have better things to do with themselves. And so, I mean, KD, you need either another hobby besides basketball, or you need a woman in your life, man. Get on that Tinder and then get some work done.
Swipe.
Yeah, swipe left.
Right or left, whatever
it is, man. I don't even know.
I don't know either, but
he needs something. You need something, brother. Come on now. What are you worried about these people for? Like, for what?
I think it speaks volumes. I mean, we've heard, like, Charles Barkley's someone that's always saying how soft the NBA has gotten.
It has.
And there are a number of guys that, as we change generations, that are always comparing the old to the current, say, back in the day of, the bad boy Pistons and the Bulls and all those big players, Michael Jordan, that some of the things going on now wouldn't have gone on then. These little tic-tac touch fouls that they're calling now. And then we turn around, we have the MVP of the finals that's doing the softest thing ever. So I think it's only hurting everything that LeBron James and all these players are trying to defend, that the league is still tough. When one of your best players
these guys
is a cupcake.
Yeah, he really is. Like a cupcake, with extra butter on it. Like it's just, I don't know what really got into him and why he thinks that this is the move. Like there's no words for KD in these actions. So, I don't know what to say about him, man. Can we move on?
I do have one more question for you. Because this summer was also a big summer with Ezekiel Elliott of the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. And their front office was, saying they were concerned about him and trying to fix him and make him more mature to understand he can't get in trouble. Kevin Durant's not getting in trouble per se. He's doing small, little teenage, middle school type mischievous things. But for the Golden State Warriors front office, is this something that they should be worried about maybe growing, or something that they should address with him?
I don't think they're worried about it. I think once the season starts and these dudes start rolling off 10-game winning streaks, that this is going to be in the the rearview mirror. It's just, I guess maybe he just has too much time on his hands right now in the offseason. He needs the season to get started. But I don't see it fracturing the locker room or anything like that. I mean, they showed last year that the chemistry is there with everybody. Unfortunately, I was hoping that they would have went down because it's almost like just buying a championship. But I mean, I don't see it affecting the play on the court at all. I mean, unless Klay Thompson thinks he's not getting the ball enough or something like that. But it seems like they have that chemistry intact. I mean, I don't know. You even got Draymond Green laughing. I'm not sure if you saw the little TMZ clip where him and DeAndre are coming out of a restaurant. They're like, "What do you think about KD's Twitter?" They just start hysterically laughing. Like, "Come on, this guy! Like, what are you thinking?" Man? I mean, he's arguably the top two best basketball player in the league. Like,
exactly.
Really, I mean, I don't understand the reasoning behind. Like, who creates a fake Twitter account just to and then start talking in third person? Like, just think about how much energy that takes from.
I mean, again, that's something I know. In high school, I made a fake Facebook page but I was a high school teenage girl.
I was going to say, the key word there is in high school.
In high school, exactly. And I know I have friends,
school.
Friends that also did the same thing. You know, maybe you like someone and you make a fake page, or I don't know. At that age, you don't really think. But again, at that age, not at 28.
But you're not a millionaire on top of your game.
Exactly.
At 28 and still, worried about what Joe Blow says about you. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So, all in all, Kevin Cupcake Durant got Twitter fingers and decided to defend himself in third person on Twitter, possibly on the wrong Twitter account. We still don't know if he has another fake Twitter account. But we're going to move on for him because
I immediately called it the back-to-back freestyle when I saw his story. Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers. Like, this dude is really out here trying to come at his haters, man.
He really
on Twitter.
is. Like, he really is. The fans, no less. Not a rapper. You're not beefing with someone. You're beefing with fans. But whatever. We will talk about one more person when we get back who doesn't have Twitter fingers. He actually said, or I should say, didn't say as much on First Take. That's Kyrie Irving. So when we get back, we will talk about the Cavs, Kyrie, the Celtics, and everything going on with that mess. We'll be right back after this break.
Why travel to Philadelphia or Atlantic City for memorable and diverse dining? Experience the unique style and ambiance of Napa Valley wine country right here in the heart of South Jersey. At Terra Nova Restaurant, it's casual but sophisticated with contemporary American cuisine. Enjoy South Jersey's best sushi and raw bar, the freshest seafood, thick, delicious steaks, pastas, appetizers, and desserts. Our wine bar offers selections from virtually every major wine-producing region in the world. Choose from over 200 wines, with 50 available by the glass. Join us at Terra Nova for Wine Down Wednesdays with special half-price bottles of wine. Sit, sip, and enjoy. Our bar happy hour features sushi at half price. Every Friday night, it's live music and our pasta and wine Sundays. Spotlight 25 wines at $25. Terra Nova Restaurant has a wonderful Northern California decor with architectural touches exuding elegance and warmth. An excellent choice for private parties. Our rooms can accommodate 20 to 120 people. Choose the Napa Room, Sonoma Room, or the Monterey Room. Terra Nova Restaurant is perfect for friends to meet. And for added fun, enjoy our brand new wine and martini bar. Great food, great wine, great friends. It's Terra Nova Restaurant.
Choosing the right fence for your home or business is an important decision to make. Choose Anello Fence for peace of mind. Our family has manufactured and installed beautiful maintenance-free fence for over 50 years. We provide vinyl, aluminum, and wood fence in a wide variety of styles and colors, including chain-link fence for commercial and residential. Call or visit our indoor showroom and ask for Steve Anello and see how 4 generations of combined experience mean that you'll get quality and service that can't be matched by any other fencing company, period. Call Anello Fence today for a free estimate.
Apple Ridge is about freedom. Apple Ridge is about community. Apple Ridge is about home. Apple Ridge, everything you want, more than you expect. Welcome to your new neighborhood. Apple Ridge Senior Living. Enjoy a maintenance-free, affordable luxury lifestyle today. Visit appleridgeseniorliving.com and find out more about the Apple Ridge experience.
Hi, I'm Jeff Saper. Join me this fall on RVN TV for My 2 Cents. My opinions on what's going on in the world, whether it's politics, law, music, sports, anything that touches my mind will touch your heart. My 2 cents is your 2 cents is my 2 cents. See you this fall on RVN TV.
Break here on RVNTV.tv. I'm your host, Renee Washington, joined by Jonathan Stroud. And we have been talking about things going on in the NBA. Carmelo possibly going to the Rockets, Joel Embiid, still injured, and Cupcake, Kevin Durant, with Twitter fingers, where he tweeted in third person, defending himself to a fan, and also putting down OKC. So we have to go to the last latest news, and that's Kyrie Irving.
Another softie.
Yes. So, as of late, Kyrie Irving, for some reason, signed up to go on First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman for 90 minutes and decided to say absolutely nothing. Don't know why he went on First Take, knowing good and well what they were going to ask him, but okay, he did. He went on there. You saw clips of it because, it was a long interview with a little bit of substance. What are your thoughts on the interview?
I feel like he said a whole bunch of nothing during that whole interview. I mean, I feel like we should play the Ice Cream Mr. Softy music for we're talking about him and Kevin Durant. But I mean, he gave these non-answers, non-committal. Basically saying, no, I didn't need to talk to LeBron. Why should I? In my opinion, he has the most pressure coming into this NBA season on his shoulders. I mean, you want to leave the best player in the world. Like, okay, that's fine. You want to prove how great you are, but you weren't really great when LeBron was not with Cleveland.
Exactly.
The record will show that. So now he's with the hated Boston Celtics, so I have even more reason and ammo not to cheer for this dude. So, I just I really don't get it as far as what he really, the whole purpose of that interview was to come out there on TV. I guess some are saying, now you got to go ask LeBron these questions because he kind of put everything in his court for folks to come in and ask him. So listen, he wants to be the man. Go ahead, and we'll see what you can handle. But we've seen this act before when you didn't have an all-star in LeBron. Yeah. So
now there has been a lot going on around Kyrie Irving's move to the Celtics. For one, he said that it wasn't supposed to get out. The information was supposed to be private. He was talking out with the Cleveland front office. They were figuring out a way to move him, and so not he, but allegedly LeBron James was the one that may have been behind the information leaking. Also, I was watching a recent interview with Iman Shumpert, and he was saying how, Kyrie was Iman Shumpert's best friend, so he kind of had a lot of inside perspective on everything going on. And Shumpert feels as though the media is really the one that is putting LeBron versus Kyrie and creating this war between them that is not really there. That it's more Kyrie just deciding that he wants to go somewhere to grow, develop, be that top player of a franchise, and he can't do that under LeBron James and in his shadow. So what are your thoughts on all of that?
If that's the way he feels, then I guess so be it. But he didn't even, he said he didn't tell LeBron any of his, motives or anything. So apparently, I guess this has been in the works, they say, for the past year.
Right.
But he didn't want to, ruffle the feathers of the organization. So, it sounds like he's had in his mind, I need to be the man.
Right.
I'm still living off that 3-point shot in the finals of Game 7.
Yes.
And I guess his head has just been completely gassed up since that whole moment because he just feels like he's the best player in the NBA now and that he needs to be on his own squad. So it's just a lot of soft back and forth. This nobody wants to mention names anymore. It's like these new rappers with their beef, man. Nobody wants to call anybody out. Listen to an old Tupac going that big. He said directly,
Exactly.
Exactly. Say the name, man up. We had talked about KD manning up in the last segment. These dudes need to man up and just say what it is. If you had a problem with LeBron and his style and you can't play with him, just say what it is.
Right. Now, we do have some footage from the interview.
Okay.
That we have to show.
Oh, we getting fancy. We got footage now.
So let's check out what Kyrie Irving said or didn't say in First Take interview.
That at all?
No.
Did you speak to LeBron James or talk to LeBron James before you and your representatives met with ownership and let them know that you wanted out?
No.
Why not?
Why would I have to?
If you don't speak to somebody about it, they might take it personally.
Yeah.
Do you care about that at all?
Just look at the body language.
Yeah,
he's just sitting there staring off. He's not really he's not really there to
he's
begin
drugged
with.
Or something.
Yeah, it actually looks like he's drugged. I was thinking the same thing. I was watching, what's wrong with him? He looks so out of it. He looks drugged. He looks like he's that kid that just got in trouble.
Right.
And is refusing to say anything. No. I didn't do it. Short 1-2 word answers. He doesn't feel like he needs to tell LeBron.
Right.
Because it's not LeBron's business. And then he goes on later to talk about how he's a grown man. He's making a grown man decision. He's in touch with reality. And this is his aura to make this decision.
It's the same dude that thought the earth is flat. So I can't take anything for what he says with a grain of salt. So,
yes.
It's just he's channeling his inner Kobe because that's one of his buddies. And listen, the ratings for that first game are going to be pretty. It's going to be amazing.
That's on the plus side of it.
Right,
everyone will be tuned in.
Yeah, everybody tuned in. I'm sure LeBron, as he's working on his core, is getting ready, just thinking about, Kyrie and all what he's trying to come at his neck and his legacy, basically, because LeBron's really concerned about his legacy. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's put the ball is in Kyrie's court. He's put all the pressure on him now. Let's see if he can deliver. He has not delivered in the past. Like I said, when he's been on the squad without a superstar. He has Gordon Hayward now, and the Celtics are an established franchise, so it's all on him as far as going forward and what he can do.
And you mentioned LeBron. I mean, while this was going on, LeBron and Kevin Love were actually working out together, and LeBron was posting on Instagram about their workout and stuff, and they're clearly focused on getting themselves back and ready to play. Mm-hmm. Kyrie Irving sitting on First Take saying nothing.
Right.
What do you take from all this as a whole? What does this mean for what's really going on and what we can expect in the future?
Well, I think what it means now is we have the rivalry, which was already Cleveland Boston. It's got ramped up 10 notches now with Kyrie being on that team and LeBron being with Cleveland for just 1 year now this year. So that's. Like I said, we're going to see how the chemistry works out with Boston. I'm sure Kyrie is ecstatic on the inside, even though he was not saying anything during the interview. I'm sure he's super excited that he got his wish as far as getting the trade and the request and everything. Mm-hmm. So now it's time for him to deliver. So listen, we'll see what he can do. But I don't know if that was the right move or the right way about going about it. But
I agree. I think Kyrie, and he has said that he's ecstatic. He's excited. He can't wait for the season to start. He's looking forward to playing with Boston. This is his time to now finally turn that corner. He learned as much as he could from LeBron. It's time for him to step up and be the man.
Right.
So at this point, for Kyrie, for Kevin, and Kevin Love, but for Kevin Durant, for Joel Embiid with the Sixers, for Carmelo Anthony, wherever he ends up, it is time for all these drama queens to put up or shut up.
Right.
Period.
Right. Yeah, we got the season starting next week. I can't wait. So, not the season. I'm sorry, training camp starting next week. So,
I wish the season started next week, but
exactly.
So we will be looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. Of course, you can always find out and follow us as we discuss this NBA news and drama, I should say, all season long. But thanks for joining us today on the Sports Break here on RVNTV.tv. I'm your host, Renee Washington, with Jonathan Stroud. You can always find us here Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 9 in the morning, bright and early. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for a guest here in the studio, and I hope you have a great day.